All right. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahawah, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash.
We want to give double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well we this truth from, and citation out there to the hopeful elect, who continue to push this word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And again, we again out here we got to prophesy the downfall of America, to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, man. Because in order you want to seek the kingdom of heaven, in order for the kingdom of heaven to come, this current kingdom have to pass away, man. Yahawashi can't rule with this wickedness around. No, he's gonna have to clean slate. He's gonna have to wipe out this place out and build up a kingdom in righteousness, man. Because this kingdom is built in wickedness.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and verse 7. Then Azariah said, what should be the parting asunder of the time?
And this Ezra was asking about the end. Basically, he asking when the kingdom of heaven is going to be established. The same thing with the apostles. When Yahawah shot him before, he said, is it this time that you shall restore the kingdom to the house of Israel? Basically, that's the same spirit of the prophets. They are seeking the day when righteousness reigns, and we come in that same state.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followed?
They said when it's going to be the end of this kingdom and the beginning of the kingdom of heaven, the beginning of righteousness. You got it?
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob held first the hand of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world.
It says Esau is the end of the world. Esau is basically the end of the heathens ruling. Because you go into the Babylonians, the Medes, Persians, the Greeks, the Romans. Then now it is the Roman Empire 2.0. This is the last leg of the heathens. Because after this empire, righteousness is going to reign. Israel is going to be back on top, man. How things are supposed to be. And you're going to see the difference, man, between this kingdom and the kingdom of heaven. You know, you're going to feel it. The air is going to be more fresher. The food is going to taste better. Everything is going to be in peace because righteousness is going to reign.
I got something real quick. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Yes, it says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, man. But people are not rejoicing now. You got it.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
It says, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, which means what? Everybody's depressed here, man. That's why it's a such thing as sad, seasonal, annual depression. Everybody's on psychotics. They got Prozac and codeine. They got to take drugs to try to fight away the pain. You know what I'm saying? But you can't fight away the pain because you're living in the midst of wickedness, man. Every day you wake up, you're suffering here, man. Every day you go to sleep, you're suffering here, man. So you should be hastening the times of the day. Father, Isaiah 54. You got a piece of that. Isaiah 54 and 16. Captain exile, hasten that he may be loose. 51 and 14. Because again, we hastening for Yahawashi to return and to deliver us, man, from this wicked place. You got it?
Isaiah 54 and 14?
Yeah.
Isaiah 50.
51 and 14. Come, but just going back.
Come. This is Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
That's it.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
It says, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. That's why people depressed. Again, people, it's different drugs. They gotta try to dumb themselves down and try to numb the pain. But you cannot numb the pain here, man. Got uppers and downers. You know what I'm saying? You got something you want to get in the good mood. You got something you want to chill out. That's how people function in America, man, through drugs. Because you know it's fucked up here, man. They're living inside
Operate under sorcery.
Listen, you gotta get fucked up because this place fucked up, man.
You got it. This is Isaiah 51, verse 14. The captive exile hastening that he may be loose.
And that's the spirit. That's the same spirit that Ezra was in, man. Hastening that he may be loose, man, to get out of here, bro. They're basically dwell in peace, bro, and you're not dwelling in peace here. I don't care if you got a good house, a good car, whatever, man. That bill's still gonna come. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta pay land taxes and shit like that, bro. And all else fair, the Lord will hit you with an infirmity, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's no way you can have peace here, no, on any level. You got up.
Isaiah 51:14, the captive exile hastens that he may be loose, and that he should not die in the pit.
Yep.
Nor that his bread shall fail.
It said that he should not die in peace. Stay in America, man. We don't want to stand in America, but it says his bread shall not fail, which means what? This word. The words of Yahawashi will not fail us, especially in these last days. Because the prophecies are jumping off the page now, man. We can see the famine growing up. We can see World War III growing up. We can see sedition among men. So our bread is not failing, man. We actually being filled with the prophecies, man. It's actually strengthening up our faith. Through every article, through every, every article, through every event that happened. Like there were what, 3 mass shootings this week? Yeah. That's the spirit of Yahawashi dominating the planet Earth, man. Right.
Okay.
Second Peter.
Let's not give them their hand. That's them putting their trust in oppression. You know, and that's the same spirit that they had back during the time we was coming out of Egypt. Man. You know, and that lets you know that these are the same ones that were rebelling against Yahawashi. You know, they stay on that same oppression, man. You know, they stay on it because they don't know anything else but Babylon, man. You know, they can't see past, Esau, man. You know, they can't see past the things that here in this world, man. You know, why? Because they're of the flesh, man. You know, and they align themselves right along with the so-called white man. Okay, so they rather suffer this, having to pay bills, and worrying about, your next paycheck. Okay, worrying about what to do the next weekend. Because that's what Jacob's all about, man. The only thing they look forward to is bullshit on the weekends, man. After you put in all those hours at work, 50, 60 hours, all right, that's all you got to look forward to, man. There's no hope amongst our people, man. They lost it, man. Okay, they lost it. Why? Because the spirit of Yahawashi is not on them, man. All right, they don't look anything else but hoping to the only thing they look forward to is getting crumbs from Esau, man. And especially these big top, celebrities, okay, that's got a little crumbs from the Esau's table, man. All right, that's nothing, man. Because all that can be taken away at the blink of an eye, man. And that's what the Lord's gonna bring in the time to come, man. Okay, all those goodies that you got, from Esau, your master, all right, your father, the devil, okay, all that's gonna be taken away by Yahawashi, man. And he's gonna make you suffer for that, man.
Isaiah 30, chapter 30, verse 12.
Just backing up the oxen. Because again, people that are trusting in Esau, they trusting in this world.
Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression.
Yeah, you despise the way of life, but you trust in Esau, which is basically his carnal flesh, which lasts like that, man. You get some box, it lasts like that. You get some food, it lasts like that. You get some money, it lasts like that. But this we got here is eternal, man. Yeah.
And trust in oppression.
You trust in oppression. Yeah. And perverseness, which means what? Wickedness. Yeah.
And stay thereon.
Yep.
Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall.
Yes, as a breach ready to fall. So you basically finna get taken out with this place, man. In any matter of sex, the Lord is finna get ready to destroy this place, man. And if you trust in this place, you're gonna get destroyed with it. When it says don't hinge on the hinge, the wicked should not be unpunished.
It says swelling out in the high wall, whose breaketh cometh suddenly at an instant.
And it says his breaketh coming suddenly at an instant. And basically we can see the big bubble coming. It's a big ass bubble on the top of the ceiling. You ignoring it, man. You can see the destruction coming, and you ignoring it. By the time it falls, it's gonna catch you with your pants down, man. Because you would have never thought that bad things gonna happen to America, man. You would have never thought that bad things gonna happen until this place, man.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time, shall dwell in the world.
It says many great miseries shall be done unto them that dwell in the world, that dwell in this system, man. That dwell in this captivity, man. Because you basically trusting in your oppressor, you trusting in your so-called master, man. Which actually he's not doing the best for you, he's doing the worst for you, man. Like they got these little stimulus checks and things like that. They thought it was gonna, I'm doing good for now, but look at the economy now. That's why the gas high, man. That's why the dollar is weak now, man. Yeah.
Because they have walked in great pride.
You have walked in great pride, man. Basically, you turned your back on Yahawashi and you turned your face towards Esau, man. And Esau, he's the master of pride, man. And that pride have basically trickled down to even 2/3 of our people, man.
Going back to Isaiah 30, verse 14, and he shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken in pieces.
That's it.
He he shall not spare.
It says he should not spare, man. He's gonna break this pace down, man. He's actually gonna, for lack of better words, like a boxer, man. You just playing with him at first, then Lord gonna finally get that knockout punch, that kidney punch, man. Yeah.
It says, he shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of it a shirt to take fire from the earth. It says, or to take water withal out of the pit.
So it's not going to be no relief for this destruction, man. It's not going to be no relief from the things of the Lord that's going to get ready to bring upon this place, man. Because Yahawashi, he have a thing with Esau. And everything that's joined to Esau, you're going to get caught up with it. You're caught up, you got the Lord got a beef with this guy, and you're in the same car with him, man. Both of y'all going to get it, man.
It's 2 Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world.
It says many great miseries. Bobby Kushai, look at the word miseries for me. Bobby Kushai, man. It says many great miseries, man. Because a lot of things is going to get ready to happen upon the planet Earth, and we can see it. Because a part of those.
The word great, not just a misery. Misery is already bad by itself, but it says great misery. And that word great is synonymous with Esau too. Two sides of that spectrum. Because how we know that? The scripture says if his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. You go to that word multiply, go back to great. That's why you got Babylon the great. Time of great idolatry, great sorcery, great wickedness. So it's going to be great misery as well. That's how the Lord's going to combat the great wickedness, man. Because if a child, let's say if a child bad, you can't just, there's a point where you have to bring down the hammer, man. You keep just telling them to stop, stop, stop. There's a point where you have to pull out the belt. So that's how the Lord's going to combat Esau.
Yeah, real quick, like, just going back. How he's going to combat Esau out of his slaves. Just the point you said, the boxer, that analogy. It's the book of Psalm 89, verse 23. And I will beat down his foes.
Hey, can I say too, right? Don't understand the word beat going to plague. When you look at the word beat, it going to plagues. So with each plague, that's a blow from Yahawashi outside. Yeah, the scourge. So the Lord is pounding on America, man. Yep.
It says, and I will beat down his foes before his face and plague them.
Yeah, see? And plague them, see? Go ahead.
And plague them that hate him.
Yeah, see that? And that's the so-called white man. His very being is a manifesto. You know how these motherfuckers do it? Shooting. And they had a manifesto. Yeah, Esau's work is a manifesto that they hate Yahawashi outside. You want us to prove it? Look at your calendar and see what this money is, man. It's Pride Month, right? Which is an open act of war against Yahawashi outside. Yep.
Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 3. O Lord, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction.
The Lord put Jake in the ghetto, and he, put up accessories. You know what I mean? The Lord put you, The Lord put you in prison, you put a curtain up in the prison. Well, that's why the scripture, when the brother brought out 2 Ezra, the 8th chapter, it goes into dwell in the last day. You go in that word dwell, it means somewhere you hang your head on or lodge at. So you comfortable here, you made a jail cell. That's the worst nigga. You got pictures up. Fucking man.
That's why I got to say in the world, you made your bed in hell.
Yeah.
Woo! And that's what they literally did, man. They made that bed in hell, man. You know, they're comfortable being in oppression, like I was saying earlier, man. You know, and basically make your bed here, like I was going to, man. They're comfortable being in this state, man. You know, and that's why they're going to face reward, being destroyed, man. You know, and that's why the scripture say what? Them that settle on that lease.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's Jake, man. The majority of our people, not knowing that Yahawashi is in the midst right now, man. Bringing these plagues, like the first part, and bringing out.
This is the word misery, simple Google definition. A state or feeling of great distress.
Great distress.
Great. Experience.
It's like a form of desperation, man. You know, Lord finna put out a form of the famine, you know, the plagues and all that, man. It's gonna be a great distress out here, man. Like what it says on Jeremiah 37.
Going to when it said great misery, it said what? Above average. To the extreme. So everything that great distress is gonna be to the extreme, man. Above average. More than what you know. Hunger is gonna intensify. Misery is gonna intensify. Violence is gonna intensify. Everything is gonna intensify, man. To a level that man don't know. Go ahead,
It's like what it said, Isaiah 55, it shall prosper, and then things work to us. So it's going to far exceed what you could think of a famine. You can go to history and kind of gauge. That shit going to far exceed what you think a famine is, man. Because you know what bad according to a man, but what's bad according to Yahawah.
That's why I said prosper. I think it goes into growing, like something achieving, increasing, and all of that. Exactly.
Yeah, that's why he's called the King of Terrors. So, like, you're dealing with somebody that's known as the King of Terrors with a title like that. All right, you know he's going to bring it, man. You know that's going to be the highest level of terror, man. All right, and people going to feel it, man. All right, yeah, that's it, man. All right,
Yeah, that's height. Yeah, the height. It don't get no farther than the king of terror.
the maker of terror.
Yeah, apparition.
Yeah.
Hey, well, wear the crown of terror. Your grandma pop up. Yeah, real talk, man. Apparition. And the Lord knows how the Lord, He designs you. Yeah. Your grandma get a your dead grandma with a chain and read the precept. Second Ezra. Hey, but you know, making you joking, right? Nigga, right there, but hey, if they're the strange teachers of Yahawashi, man. Hey, because this is not of this world. All right? This is of another realm. That's why it's required to have faith. But like I said, the Lord's going to shut down America. The power's going to go out. You're going to start hearing sounds. You know, down in these parts, you might hear crickets. That's the best you might get. But you're going to start hearing snorting. You know, a goddamn growling, a deep growl. Yeah? What's that? Yeah? Oh, that's just the least of it. You're going to be certain he's not going to make out what it is. Yeah. Newly created creatures, man. That goes into the height of judgments. You can't wrap your mind around. Because you didn't hear the sound of a nigga holler, I'm shot. You're going to get the sound. And I'm going to say this is not for the faint-hearted. This counsel is only reserved for those who understand the power in which they serve. And you got to remember the story with the prophet where the Lord had the lion waiting on him. That's showing that there's a power that actually orchestrates this, man. If your worst fear is a clown, right? Yeah, pure and wild. Yeah. Sure.
You got to consider, right? About King of Hog.
Yeah.
And that's the Lord. He's saying, look, that's the Lord making that scenario, man. So that he'll die at the battle, man. You know? So how much more today, man? You know?
Great misery.
If I may, that's why I say time Jacob trouble is going to be a time like no other. Because you're not going to relate this time with any time in period. This is going to be the worst times upon the planet Earth, 70 AD. The times of slavery is not going to be able to be compared to the times of Jacob's trouble, man. We're just growing up right now. That's why going back to the great misery. You got it?
Going back to that misery.
Oh, great. Get that great first.
The word great, simple Google definition, it says of an instant, amount, or intensity.
It's an intense. And you can feel, like in the spirit, you can feel how intense things are getting, even across the whole world, man. That's it. It's getting intense out here, man, especially when the food on, it's one bag of chips on the block, man. Niggas gonna go crazy for it, man. Real shit, it's one bag of chips on the block and niggas gonna kill each other for it, man. That's how intense it's gonna get. You got it?
It says considerably.
Because a lot of niggas don't consider, man. All these other nations, they don't consider the things that's coming upon the planet Earth. That Crown 19, that plan, that went for no reason. That's the spirit of Yahawashi Yahawashi manifested upon the earth, man.
Right.
You got it, huh?
It says, considerably above the normal.
Above, it's gonna be abnormal out here, man. It's gonna be abnormal shit. You can't even explain it. What you just seen? I don't know. That's the Lord, you know.
Like Slender Man.
Slender Man. You
It's
know.
like Slender Man got him. What Junior?
I smell that.
That's because you open up that idea. What the scripture say, when the Lord said to the forward, he would show himself forward. Matter of fact, let him get that real quick.
Con, the book of Psalm 18, verse 26. With the pure, that will show thyself pure.
And that's dealing with the believer. Lord is dealing with us gentle. Oh, what's that? Isaiah 40? Speak comfortably. So with the pure, the Lord is showing himself pure. Meaning if you come in peace, then good for you. Go ahead.
And with the forward, that will show thyself forward.
Right, and the height of forwardness is on display for Esau. And his perverseness and twisting. Well, guess what the Lord said? That's how he gonna show himself to Esau. So your wildest imaginations, your dream, the Lord is gonna manifest it, man. The spirit right there. Okay, yeah, Rain, yeah. Yeah, more to come back characters and shit. Yeah, you got it.
It says, considering above the normal or average.
This is above the norm. So again, abnormal things, it's finna get ready to happen upon the planet. You can't even describe it. You know?
Above average, right? Read again what it says.
It says, considerably, or it says more intensity, considerably above the normal.
Yeah, above the normal. It's like the brother said, it's normal to see somebody shot or hearing that they were shot. But you see a guy laying on the ground with a whole chunk tucking out of his side. He's like, what the
White mark.
Yeah. Go ahead, Al.
It says or average.
Or average. Yeah. We're seeing the average right now, like the brother going into. We're seeing the average, but things that are above average, your mind can't even fathom that yet, man. Until your eyes perceive it. And then when your eyes perceive it, you know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't gonna be able to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Because hunger gonna set in. You ain't gonna be able to make a point. Like the brother always going into. You can't step when you hungry, man. But it's gonna be above average though. To where a motherfucker it's gonna be like feed the children. You know what I'm saying? Flies around you, your stomach swole, you know what I'm saying? Your head is swollen up. You feel what I'm saying? But your body look like Slender Man. You see what I'm saying? That's gonna be above average, man. The motherfucker gonna be looking at you like you fool, man. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, if I may add, that's why the Lord says he's going to increase the family. You already experienced it. He says he's going to increase it. All right?
That's it.
Yeah, to the point, and that's why the ox brought the definition great. You know? So the family is going to be right in there too. All right? It's going to be a great family upon the Bible. Great. All right?
The pinnacle of confusion. Great confusion.
This is the book of St. Luke 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the it says, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars.
That's it. Because with blood, more blood that's been showing up, more cherries have been showing up. You know? That's it.
It says that there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. And
Can I say too, that also go to these UFO sites. You know, it's signs in the heavens, the sun, the moon, and the stars, which it has increased so much so the way it compelled, it provoked the Pentagon of all the people. Why the Pentagon? To release, right, disclose certain information, right? But why the Pentagon? Because they're anticipating the war in heaven.
it says, and upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity.
He said, with perplexity. Going to the word perplexity, it's like, you go into the word perplexity, it means what? Confusion. something that you really can't explain, man. Because like once the food and the famine here and the gas prices $20 a gallon, they ain't gonna have no answers then. Like you said, niggas can't stunt then, man. Niggas ain't gonna be worried about Instagram then when the blackout come, man.
Yeah.
You know, nigga, the next thing, number one thing that's gonna be on a nigga mind is his next meal, man. And he ain't gonna even trust in Yahawah shop for his next meal, man. You know?
Just going back to that profession, it just showed that Josh is going to be out the wonder as well. Because there's nothing in your mind, your decision that can be based upon a book or a rap bar. All that shit going to be thrown out the window then, man. Like you said, your next meal, you just going to be focused on what you going to put in your stomach.
And niggas gonna do anything. You know, they gonna get to a point, nigga, the trees, like Venezuela, they say all the leaves from the trees fell off. I mean, all the grass gonna get plucked up, and the next thing gonna be a nigga, man. Your babies.
Zoos too.
Yeah.
They was up in the zoo.
Yeah.
Getting the animals, man.
You got
I got this word, perplexity, right? And it says entanglement.
They cook and slot. You got it.
Yeah, kind of entanglement. So in other words, you're not gonna be able to escape this, man. You know, you catch somebody, you entangle them, they try to get out, they try to fight it as much as they can, you know, but they can't get out of it, man. All right? Yeah, because the Lord's the one that's casting his net. Like trapping him in that net, man. All right? And there's nothing you can do, man. You know, you at the mercy of the one that caught you, man. You know? And that's gonna be what it goes to, man. You know, all these proud jakes, you know, thinking, you know, they got that self-made spirit. All right, and guess what? When the Lord, you know, makes Himself known, all right, you're gonna have no option, man. You know, you're gonna have no option whatsoever, man. The Lord's gonna judge you, man. All right, but the one that's the things that you're being entangled with is gonna be these plagues, man. Especially the famine, man. All right, you know, you're gonna go everywhere and like I was going to, you know. Find no food, you might find like a potato chip on the ground, and now you gotta consider have a council. Yeah, who's gonna get this piece of chip?
You should eat it by measure.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, that's it.
He's doing a micro bite of the potato chips for the past 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the future. That's for you, Jakes, man. All right. Everybody that fought against this word, man. All right. That's gonna be your reward, man. All right. So, and it said, and the scripture said what? It said they're gonna be doing that with astonishment. Like, you know, yeah, that's what's gonna be, man. People are gonna be astonished, man. All right, at the fact that you know you used to be able to go, you know, into a convenience store, you know, you can just walk and get something, all right? And at that point, you can't anymore, man. All right, and that's the Lord's break, and that's gonna be a reality, man. You're seeing it right now, man. All right, He's giving you a glimpse of what's coming, man. All right. I mean, these other things, what you see around the world, all right. You know, they got other family too, all right. These are different so-called countries, these nations. All right, guess what? It's going to be here in America, man. All right, you think that you're safe right now, but no, Yahawah got you on the radar, man. All right, and you can't escape, man. All right.
It's Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 16. Moreover, He said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of the bread in Jerusalem.
Yeah, so breaking that staff of bread, man. What's that staff represent? All right, it represents stability, man. All right. You having the freedom to eat, man. All right, it is well documented, man, that you know your average American can't go more than 3 hours without eating, man.
Real quick, I'm just gonna say because America is a gluttonous society, man. Out of every country in the world, Americans throw more food away than really other places can even get their hands on, man. And see, combined, and that's how the Most High set Americans up, man. All right. You fucking gluttonous, man. You know, you got everything at your fingertips. Anything you want to eat. What you go into comfort food? You got even comfort food. Yeah, living deliciously. That's why it's gonna come unto you double. And that famine is gonna see the Most High know how to set your ass up, man, out of everybody, man. The Most High set Americans up. Slippery places, man. And that slippery place is having right now in this instance. Is having everything at your fingertips for you to be able to digest in your gut, man. Hey, the Lord is ready to be feared. See that right there? You got commercials. Yeah, you got man. promotion. It's a constant reminder of food. Right. You're going to be walking, wandering aimless down the streets of Babylon, hungry. You're going to see a potato chip bag of your favorite chips. Oh, that's Lamentations, the 4th chapter, man. With those who pine away from stricken for want of the fruits of the field. So the famine has a psychological overtone to it as well.
Right. So this place being that gluttonous society, man, Most High know how to get you. You know, He made everything privy to your eyes, to your fingertips, to your taste buds. Hey, whatever you have on your taste buds, you can go get, man.
And the Lord had it where you have access to every form of Chinese,
everything. It don't matter. It don't matter. What it is, a conglomerate, a fucking smorgasbord of fucking food.
anything to taste bud. Oh, which by the way, you can taste. That's why you have people say, "What you got to taste for?"
Right.
Because you can imagine what you're going to eat.
Exactly.
That's a very cruel, all right, for lack of better words, form of visitation from Yahawashi outside.
This place has been made a buffet.
That's it.
That's what it is, man. Buffet, you able to get, whatever. You got a taste for Italian, you can get that.
That's it.
Yeah. And the whole nine, man. Okay? But now that freedom's going to be taken away, man. All right? Well, it's so called freedom. All right?
Soon as the buffet is gonna be closed.
Well, that's the scripture. It says, I should take up the staff of thy bread. That literally translates to comfort food. Your staff will comfort you. It will holds you up. You just got in a nasty breakup with your old lady. Now you got some chicken fingers.
Right. Bucket of ice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You bagged up in piece of bullshit. So this kind of XL is bagged up in room plus.
If I may, okay, if I may, that's how Jake live, because Jake always say it's a melting pot of food. They can even get Elon food, man. I like Elon food.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
That's it.
Yeah, all these different, you got access to every form. That's heaven, man. That's your Yahawashi outside giving you. Oh, well, that's actually Revelation 18. Matter of fact, can we get that real quick? Y'all got that? Yeah, get that real quick. That's the scripture coming to mind the whole time. Yeah, you got it, huh?
This book of Revelation 18 and verse 7, how much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously.
It's how much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously. Because Americans, they proud, man. You go to these different countries, they don't eat 3 times a day. That's foreign, bro. When they go, I watched one thing about like Indians and shit like that. When they wake up, the first thing they drink is chai tea. When they don't just eat all day. If they hungry or anything, they just drink tea because they can't afford it. Only thing they can eat is at night is rice and peas and crazy shit like that. It's a meat, really a delicacy, man. Meat is a delicacy, man. It's a luxury, bro.
Special occasion.
That's it. You don't eat that every day. Even if you do, it's bad for your body, man. It'll break your shit down, man.
Somebody call it a balanced diet.
That's it. That's it.
Like it said glorified ourselves. It said pride. That's a form of pride. Glorifying yourself, and that's what Americans glorify themselves, man.
Revelation.
That's why I gave my face. And that's why now, it's got to the point where these people got these different diets, bad diets. Some people they eat nothing but meat. Some people eat nothing, vegetables, vegan. So people now they can subscribe to these different diets over here. Instead of just like the outdoors, having to be in balance, man. But that lets you know that these people are unbalanced. That they're not aligned with the word. The words of Yahawashi, man. Yeah, that's it.
Well, that scripture says intemperance will come to an end. You go to the word intemperance, it goes to overindulgence. So there's no balance. Esau and everybody under his vibration is far left.
Going back there, that living delicious. What contribute to that? The absence.
Yeah.
The shit like that. Hey, even something so that turning the faucet on and water come out. Everybody experience that.
Flushing the toilet and shit disappear. Yeah, that's a luxury that you people.
No, you're good. You're good.
Now, going back to Revelation 18 and 7, how much she has glorified herself and live deliciously.
And if I make, that's why a lot of Americans fat and got like high cholesterol and diabetes. That shit foreign over there in other countries, man.
Your cholesterol is through the roof.
And in America, you know, it's known as most obese. Has the obesity rate is like the highest in the whole world.
Yeah, well, that's a strategy from the war tactician himself, man. Like the Lord fattened up America for the slow. That's why the average person is fat. That's gonna be a gauge to stop, you know, as well. When you see a motherfucker who just 40 solid, they're gonna be little and frail and skinny.
It says,
You just want to eat until you're full. Once you're full, you just want to stop. That's the opposite to an American. You check out to eat 5 minutes ago, you want to go get a bag of chips.
Yeah, cause the food ain't real too, you know. Yeah, the food ain't real too, man. Because a real meal fills you up by default. See, this food lacks fiber. Fiber, you know, breaks down in you and then goes into the maturation of the body. Because food is energy. I mean, it brings energy, it burns, it causes your body to start burning that energy. So your body is functioning when you have real food. When it don't, that shit just sit on you, man. And that contributes to that weight.
These motherfuckers so greedy though, even if they don't, you know what I'm saying, even if shit was real, they just greedy, gluttonous, just overdo it. Man, that's a miracle for you.
If I make it by GMOs would mess up your body. Every got estrogen in them. You know what I'm saying? It basically break you down mentally and physically, man. Because you eat McDonald's, you eat 6 chicken sandwiches a day, that shit really, it shows your character, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you move a certain way.
Also,
Yeah. Now you mean mugging somebody. Now, you know what I mean? Now you mean mugging somebody. You just got to eat it. That shit ain't breaking down.
That shit sit on your stomach
Right.
for 2 weeks, man. Sometimes you can feel it. You locked up for 2 weeks and shit like that, man. That shit really fuck you up, man.
But yeah, it's 3. Like your head, your belly, that's your head, and also your fucking rod. That's it. You go in, that's a head. All those are when diseases come in. That's why scripture speak about the plague of the mind. That's a plague. It comes in your head. Your belly, through the food, and sex. That's all through your head.
That's also good. That's why you have a term called empty calories.
Yep.
Like the label, the label says like very good halves, you know, but it's not even, you know, sufficient, you know, it's made up, it's created, you know. Yeah, and that's like I was going to, it does something to your psyche, you know. If you know it's right, you know, whenever you come to the spiritual diet, you know, your mentality starts to change, man. But with these people, you know, and that's why I was going to about, you know, Jake, they, you know, eating up with fleas, you know, Qantas. That does something to you.
Yeah, that do, yeah.
Fagos,
Now you rip up on your 40 every time somebody walks by. Yeah, real tough, man. Yeah, you bugging.
Yeah, it does something to your mind, man.
Yeah, it goes to your performance. You put the wrong gas in your car, and it goes to manifest to the performance of the car. That's why remember in Daniel, they didn't eat of the king's meat, man. Yeah. And then they counted it. You know, it changed, you know?
And let you know that, you know, Esau, that's a pull by Esau.
Yeah.
You know? Because where the majority you find that at? You know, on Jake. You know, stuff, you know, it's easy to get, you know, grab, Yeah, that's kind of spam. That's another one, spam. Y'all remember that? Yeah. That shit's sick, man. You had to keep it in a container. Like, you know what I mean? And you peel that motherfucker open, and you got a block of, you got a block of something, man.
Fried up.
Yeah.
Sauce.
And that shit, sauce meat or potty meat. Down south they call it potty meat. I mean, that's sick in itself. You send me to the stuff to bring back some potty meat, man. That don't sound right. Yeah. Yeah, this is the worst case scenario in America. You know? Everything here is a lie. It's false. You know? It's not true. Because really when you go into greenery represents truth. Like when you eat green, if green represents truth, it's like a goat, you know, come past, right? with everything that the so-called white man has to offer, man, that he put in you from his rhetoric, right to the food, man. It's all fake. That shit causes you to move a certain way. You got plastic. Fuck, you give me a plastic straw and plastic cups. That affects the body.
Now, going back to Revelation 18 and 7, it says, how much she has glorified.
Yeah. Let's go. I know y'all getting down. This is Isaiah 24 and 3. The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away.
Yep.
I was going to say is that you got certain, the brothers going into the eating of herbs and the eating of plants and having a balanced diet, like an alkaline diet. In many ways, there's almost that we can't do it anymore. I think a plug fell out right there. In many ways, you can't even. The reason why GMO, really, the Heavenly Father done cursed the earth a long time ago to not bring forth the yield that it's supposed to bring forth. And Esau is going to compile that with all his wickedness. And so you don't really have the ability to cultivate the crops like how this earth is really supposed to work. It's not even working like that. And then you had the manufacturing of GMO foods, which they're going to take that away. I've seen a video the brother sent to the chat room, which they're going to take that word GMO. So you're not going to see that on labels. It's going to say bioengineered. There's a whole new label they got. And so, and there's all type of loopholes for companies that don't have to report that they got GMO food inside. So you're going to eat that. You're going to eat that genetically modified. What do you think that's going to do for your body and your digestive system? And so everything's out of whack, which is according to the scriptures. Because even if we wanted to go completely holistic, go back to just the natural way. But these fruits and diets that's out here, the food isn't even fulfilling that much, you know? It doesn't have all the nutrients that it used to have. It says the earth mourneth and fadeth away. Well, if the earth is mourning, then the crops is mourning as well. The vegetation is mourning as well. That's why they consider this the time we in a food shortage. All right? The world languisheth and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. It's going into how the earth is getting shut down, but then it's going to be catastrophe on the earth, man. And all these forms and fashions like famine, right?
Yeah, you go into that word language, you're going to droop. And it means to grow feeble. Because, the opposite of drooping is erecting, which erection represents power, man. They're up. But when they begin to droop, that means the so-called white man is eventually going to lose his luster. See? And his power, man. That's a monumental thing, because this nigga have dominated for a minute. It could be considered somewhat of a dynasty when you consider Esau's reign of terror. Yep, you got it. That's right.
Hamburger reign of terror. It says the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. What they do to a lot of these crops, they spraying with all type of chemicals. Next thing you know, you think you having an all natural diet. That food been sprayed with all type of pesticides, man. And I read they do the research on it. How much of your crops and your daily foods got pesticides in it? Everything, corn, spinach, all the healthy shit. Kale. You think you're doing something right when you going to the kale smoothie. And you eat
all that finished. Yeah, none of us can boast in like we eating good and none of that. Because the prophecy said we're going to eat our bread defiled. Esau had a country, make a country. Oh, they just had a recall on organic strawberries, man. How the fuck could you have? I thought it was organic. Why you got to tell me it's non-GMO anyway? That's equivalent to saying, hey, I'm not going to steal your wallet. Right there, my antenna's going to be up. What you telling me is that it shouldn't be GMOs.
Conservatives.
Yeah.
Just to add to that, they just I heard a commercial this week that said if any woman has taken Tylenol while she was pregnant, and your child just developed autism. Well, now you gotta, you know, you could be part of a class action lawsuit because 20 Tylenol during your pregnancy increase your chances of having an autistic baby by 20%, as well as all the mother, what you call them, painkillers.
Over the counter.
Yeah, them painkillers.
Yeah,
Man.
Sudafed.
Yeah.
Pharmaceutical. Well, that goes in Revelation 18 chapter. Revelation 18. Yeah, sorcery. As a matter of fact, get that.
It's nothing but what? The emotions, man. You know? It goes back to alchemy, man. You know, witchcraft.
Child dance.
Yeah, that's it.
That pharmakia. In the matter of fact, in Revelation, it tell you
Revelation.
about sorcery.
Sorcery. Pharmakia.
Yeah, that word sorcery means pharmakia, and it says drugs.
Matter of fact, we're going to
That's the
get that.
definition of it.
Revelation.
Okay.
No. You got the Revelation 18? Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13.
Just laying off to the point of the spirit shoot with it.
And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. Good. So yeah, we're gonna eat our defiled bread, man. This is prophesied. That's why we have GMOs. That's why we have now bioengineered food. It was all prophesied.
They got poop in food, man.
Oh, yeah.
The Chinese learn how to make steaks with poop. You know?
I know they do it like for a pretty. Basically putting different chemicals and different things and put together to make it taste like steak. You think you eating 8 hours steak sirloin? It's really a piece of shit, man. Yeah, a little bit of pork. They put pork in everything. Everything. Everything you cook, even the shirts you want. Everything you eat, everything you devour now, it got a little bit of pork in it.
That's fucked up, man. I love peanuts, man. Go get a damn bag of peanuts, man. You gotta be aware that you got 0.2% pork in the damn peanuts, man. That's a fucking preservative, man. Like the brother said, a damn preservative. Using pork extract to preserve shit, man. That's the devil for you, though.
Let me say something too. Different fruit and shit, they got like this wax cover. Apples got wax cover.
Hey, even though the capsules, you might be taking some
It's called
iron. You gotta find the vegetable capsule. And even that.
But even like I said, even in that, yeah, because you go to the shambles, like you go to a meat market, you can see the cow legs, but the cow was eating some shit that was sprayed by Monsanto. And the cow was a bug out. He was popping male cow doing some, mad cow. He was mad cow.
Mad cow. Motherfucker retarded.
Yeah, motherfucker eating a cigarette butt. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is a place. Yeah, this you've been desensitized to it, but you got to remember, man. In contrast to how the Earth was created, it was a paradise, man. Like the planet Earth, man, you got trees and shit. I mean, so like you got roads. They had to put a tree up as a prop.
Fake tree.
And the milk and honey.
Like you said, you got such thing as fucking plastic trees, man. Come on, man. For decorations, man. And we all know the trees is the lungs of the earth, man. Trees also is purification of the air for us, man. But you put up a fucking plastic tree, man, for a damn prop. Like this a movie. You know, that's Esau, man. A fucking magician, man.
Matter of fact, we're gonna go back to that Isaiah 24 too. I mean, somebody can hold that on deck. We're gonna go to do that. You got something? Real quick. You got to go back there. Oh yeah. You got the word. Yeah, dude.
Job 30 and verse 4. It's like Job 13 and 4. It says, but ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. And just be going back to the chemicals and everything they push out. It's fucking lies, man. It's actually to worse you, to break you down even more. You eat McDonald's again, man. That's take 40 minutes off your life, man. You wonder why your grandma got her foot cut off because she ate too much pork. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't saying physician of lies, man. You go to a physician, it's like a physician of no value, meaning what? He don't profit you. You go to a physician. There you go. You go to a physician, you're going to him for a cure to help your ailment. But hey, when you go to this physician, what? No value, man. As a matter of fact, this motherfucker hurt you.
It's like, yeah, it's a circle. They keep on
That's it. Evolving door. Yeah, because it's a big business. That's it, it's a big business.
The money ain't in the cure.
Right.
The money's in the just subsiding it for a little period of time. That's why they I had a friend that went to pharmacy school. Hey, pharmacy schools. Yeah. And yeah, he told me that, you know, they'll come out with two different pharmaceuticals. The same brand. And one will kill you completely. The other one got the side effect. So they're gonna pay to suppress the one that kill you and push out the one with the side effect. It's all about getting you to come back.
We were actually looking up that term, silence.
Yeah. Good. That's what you're saying. Yeah, that's why now the highest title that these Edomites and J2, all right, the highest title they try to get to is what? The doctors.
Yeah.
We say it again,
The doctors. That's the doctors.
Say it all.
Yeah. I was saying that what they try to strive for, or what they try to achieve, is the status of being a doctor. You know? Yeah, and that's why they got what? Doctors. All right? Because if you look at the word doctor, what do it mean? It means falsified. And that's what people go to. They go to doctors, man. You know, which are what? Falsifiers.
Yeah, falsifiers, yeah.
And really, when you go into it, right, you know, the whole industry with the doctors, man, you know, that's why they wear like the coat. You know, that's basically them. You know, if I remember, it's basically them. You know, taking on the oath, so to speak. You know, saying that they went through certain procedures to get to that point, man. Right. But what you got to is you got to a certain level of falsifying, man. You got to a certain level of lies, man. All right, because of course when they give it to you is who? Esau Edom, which is the forger of lies, man. All right. So that's why you got to keep going back over and over again, all right? To get those symptoms, you know, brought down, you know, but it doesn't really kill you, man, you know? And here it is, you know, Rawchaa got certain herbs on the earth, you know? But, so, or, you know, brought in certain herbs, you know, to heal you, you know? But whenever you try to bring that out, you know, that's looked down upon.
Oh, they'll kill you. Like they did, what the guy said? Dr. Sidney, yes. He was basking in the glory of, you know, curing celebrities. And Esau swooped down on him and killed the man because he was in the way of a racket, man. These devil scriptures say, the scripture refers to the so-called white men as the leech. Yeah, the horse leech. Who was always saying, give. So driven by his lust for, you know, scriptures talk about how he's covetous. See? Oh yeah. The middle. Yeah, y'all got it right.
This on Sirach 38 and 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth. And he that
right,
is
the Lord created medicines out the earth, man. All right, it's certain food that cures certain ailments, like, for an example, like a walnut. It looked like a brain for a reason. It's good for your brain, man. You know, I think the carrot, you chop it up, you see the little pupil. It's good for your eyes. Oh yeah, cut. Wow. There are several fruit, vegetables that the Lord has brought forth out the earth to cure you, man. You know, this man, the devil, the so-called white man, set up a system that's contrary to life. That's all it is. You got something?
Real quick. It's a quick fact. It says, it's an article, it says, as of end 2020, the total global pharmaceutical industry was valued at about 1.27 trillion US dollars.
Yeah, so you think that these devils really want to see you healthy? No. They need you to continue to come into those hospitals, man. Those doctor offices. Yeah, CVS's. Yeah, that's the biggest drug dealer on the planet. Yeah, that's the real trap house. America, the real trap house.
In 2001, it was 390 million. So it's an ever increasing industry. Yeah. How can we get more people to become sick and live a long life of sickness and ailments? Just keep you alive long enough so you come back to us for the medicine. And then, like the brother said, frowning on what they call Eastern medicine.
Right.
Which is like holistic. way, homeopathic, healing yourself with herbs and different fruits and vegetables, diet change. You can have a whole somebody 400 pounds walking to the doctor. He ain't even allowed to give them a routine and how, exercise, diet and exercise. That's fat shaming now. You can't even do. The doctor can't even prescribe you a better way of living. You just gotta give you a pill to shove down your mouth. This society's done.
Everything is done by a pill, man. You gotta thrive off the pill. Head hurt, give me a pill. You know what I'm saying? I feel a certain mood, give me a pill.
Yeah. You got a pill when you're happy.
Yep.
A pill to pop when you're sad.
Yep.
For anxiety.
Yep.
You know?
Somebody look up herbal medicine. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Let's read the precept one more time.
This is Revelation chapter 18 and 20, 18 and 23. And the light of the candles shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great.
The joy, the mirth is going to be taken away from America. All right? Guys riding by bumping their sister. That spirit going to go, man. And you know what? That idea is more and more plausible now. Because the gas prices. It's going to be a minute you're not going to be able to drive the car, man. So the Lord has sprung into action, man. Like, come on.
It says, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived.
Right. By thy sorceries. Okay? Listen, look up that word.
God, going to that word, sorceries.
Okay, so.
It's Strong G 5331 pharmakia.
Right, pharmakia. That goes back to these pharmaceuticals. Oh, like if you see one of these, like a CVS, they have that witch's pot group on it, man. Yeah, that close. That goes to the Babylon the Great, man. So they have a witch, a spice, a dab of, spices, yeah. A frog leg,
And then they got the seducing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pronounce it seducing. Some broad song. Right, which they get from partially they get from the scriptures.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Bronze staff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's the serpent. Yeah, and it's asking seduces you too, man. Yeah, because when you go into the whore, she got that goblet in her hands. That's like somebody having a spike in your drink. Because let's say like if you're around a woman and she's desirable, but you're trying to refrain from her. Well, you can refrain from her if you have all your faculties. But the moment it's drinking involved, and especially if she gives you the drink, now you're going to succumb. That's the overtone of what that symbolizes. America, the war with that goblet in her hand. Okay? Pretty much everybody is walking, dancing to the beat of this drum. You have been seduced by the whore. Like, come on.
God. Pharmakia, it goes into the use or the administering of drugs.
Right, the use or administering, which is on display here in America, is administered by Esau in the form of his doctors and these hospitals. Like what is say CVS? Hey, you just walk up in a gas station. You got, that's the administration and use of them drugs, man. All right, what?
It says poisoning, sorcery, magical arts.
Right, which goes back to the Chaldeans, man. Okay? So pretty much all these Babylonians is drug addicts. You're under a spell. Go ahead,
So Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
Right.
That made all the earth drunk.
That's that cauldron, man. Okay? And to drink from this place, right, that's going to affect, that's why the reasoning of the people is way off. Any motherfucker that's standing behind a homosexual, if you can make a case for a homosexual, that means you off. That means you under a hell of a drug. You under the influence. Babylon, man. Come on, man.
It says the nations have drunk of her wine.
Yep, the nation. And you see Esau's influence has extended. The nation's influence have extended all the way to the Far East, all throughout the world, man. You got the biggest gay parade right over there in Tel Aviv, Pink City. Yeah. Oh yeah, Gayo. Sick, man. This is a sick place, man. Gayo. Yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead.
It says the nations have drunk of her wine, and therefore the nations are mad.
Right, therefore the nations are mad. So that's going to end up having, like, at the end of the night, the guy drunk and he turned on the whore you know what I'm saying? He just spiked his drink and he turned on her. So that's what's going to happen. Go ahead.
The word mad.
All right, come on.
All right. It's a law. It means to act madly, to act like a madman.
Right. Oh, that reminds me of the Carmenians. What is that? The Carmenians? The raging of the Carmenians? Yeah. Hey, that also links up with Revelation 17 chapter, where they shall hate the whore and burn her and leave her, right? Yes, go ahead.
It says to make a fool of, to make into a fool.
Right, that's the result, man. You've been made into a fool. The nations is not just reserved to physically, geographically going to another country. The nations is the people. You know? You are all nothing more than a manifestation. You know what you are? You are that experiment. You are the results. You went into the oven of Babylon and you came out when the timer ding, and it came out to a 6'5" homo. Out, yeah. Miss Doubtfire. Yeah. Good, huh? Oh, like Young Thug. Call all Yahawashi outside. Lord got on his ass, man. He disrespected the ministry brothers in the ministry. He disrespected brothers in Great Millstone. Yeah, call all Yahawashi outside. Now the Lord got him. And he came up and he requested for a bond and they denied the bond. Lord got him, man. But he is one of those symbols of the result of being in America. All right, a touch of SpongeBob, a splash of McDonald's, then now you got a guy with a man purse and a foot. Like,
all you dress wearing ass dudes. You gonna get your judgment, man.
Get your issue.
You gonna get your issue, which I know we gonna get your. Hey, I know we all have broke the laws, statutes, and commandments here in this system, but not willingly. You know, we didn't just blatantly come out the house and put on a woman's attire and flutter it around, which, thumbing your nose up at the Most High. Him and many others. But I'm just saying, like your brother said, judgment is coming down, man.
Right. Nobody gets away.
Nobody gets away.
You're going to make mockery of the ordinance of Yahawashi and take it light, man?
Exactly.
No. And you know what's beautiful about it? The Lord is publicizing these judgments, man.
Beautiful.
You know, that's beautiful, man. So that the Lord doesn't play with it. That's all.
That's why we ride the word. It means what? Yeah, like I was saying, man, that's why I brought the word earlier, perplexity, man. It's what? To be entangled. All right? In other words, you have no escape.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, the more, like you get caught up in a net, the more you move around, the more caught in the net you are, man. This boy trap. The more the more you move, the worse it gets.
Yes, yeah. The more you try to make moves,
The more you try to make
moves in America,
the worse the
the
shit
more in the
gets.
situation, you deeper in that pit. Yeah.
So this is from Merriam-Webster. It says carried away by enthusiasm or desire.
Right. Yeah, the average American is driven by their desires. Oh, and then the so-called white man, he accommodates. Right? If you have a thing, you have a fetish for gerbil, the so-called white man can make it happen. It's an app out there. Straight up, man. And that's sick. And that's why scripture saying in Ephesians the 5th chapter, it's a shame to even to even speak of the things that these devils do, man. You know, it should cause you to bless you. You say, damn, man. You know? But as it were, this is the ways of the whore, man. All right, come on. I guess I'm real quick. Let's get the guy.
It's on Nahum 3 and verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms.
Yeah, matter of fact, jump to the top of that.
It's on Nahum 3 and 1. Woe to the bloody city.
Right, the bloody city, America, man. Why is it the bloody city? Because its body. Oh, the scripture says it has the blood of the saints here. That's the truth saying. Because the Israelites were slain over here, man. Okay? Meaning what? The so-called white man capitalized off the blood, sweat, tears of the nation of Israel. So that's why in the records, this place is known as the bloody city. Okay? The blood of the natives at the hand of Christopher Columbus and his band of goons. All right, go ahead.
It says,
There you go, come on.
No, real quick. And then, hey, with the book of Leviticus, in the book of Leviticus, it speaks about what? Life is in the blood, man. Like the elder going into, man. You shed life, man. And that same blood, hey, man, that's what I was definitely say. You read my mind. Genesis the 4th chapter. What happened, man? The blood of our forefather Abel cried out unto the Most High, man. Not just saying the blood literally, Most High. You know, I ain't saying that. But the life that was in the blood, man. And I gotta add real quick, that's why they got all this concrete put down, man. See what I'm saying? Trying to cover up that blood, man. When you go in the book of Revelation, it said what? Those that were slain, all right, between the, what is that? Between the altar, was crying out unto the Most High, will you avenge us against this wicked man, roughly paraphrase, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And wasn't that righteous? Hell yeah, that was righteous, man. Go ahead,
Yeah, it's like yeah, because with the acts of Esau, it reeks for some form of justice. You can't just let that ride. You know? You get a good job, now all of a sudden you forget about, that they saw in the bus, they promote those who was in the civil rights movement, they was children then, right? You see it on the bus, where the quote she made, where she was one of them civil rights, you know, she was proud to be. Well, all of them now, they either sitting on the city councilman, they got, you know, these prestige seats. See what I'm saying? So you was fucking marching and all that just to be like Esau. That's
on their leave.
They
settled on their leave.
Yeah, they settled on their leave. And their goal wasn't to get out of America. Their goal was to be equal to Esau, man. And how we know that? The results. Again, remember the guy who just died, the bald head guy, he was one of the big civil rights. Was that him? Yeah, he was the face of the civil rights. But he had a seat, you know? Yeah, so there was all that scratching and clawing and marching, but just to put on a fucking suit and tie and sit up there and pass legislation, you know, get a part of the money grab.
The payout.
Yeah. And they wanted equality too, though, because that was the rallying cry. I want to go in the same restaurant as you. I want to be able to go to the same schools with you. Yeah. So that's the scriptures too. Why trim thy ways? Yep. Go ahead.
It's Isaiah chapter 31, verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and their horses flesh and not spirit.
Yeah, and that still goes to them. Right now, the modern day Egyptians is Esau, man. Seeing that he's the nation that the Lord sent the oppression. Well,
the Lord, Yahawah shall stretch out his hand, which he's doing right now. All right, by these ways.
Yep.
Both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that hopeth shall fall down.
Right, yeah, so, what's another scripture? Can you get that, who the Lord has destroyed, no man can, and who the Lord has, right, so you can't help or hope. Your desires, your dreams, you can fill out all the applications you want. There's no wise that they're going to cancel out the intents and purpose of Yahawashi and what he purposed, the evil that he devised to America.
Hey, that's compared to, I know everybody's seen the movie Titanic, right? That compared to that captain, it's like, you know, it's going to go down with shit, you know. that's Jake, man. You know, they ready to go down with the ship. You know, he's got and playing the violin.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the ship is sinking. You know, and that's Jake, man. You know, they're hoping in a system that's failing, man. They're hoping that America's going to get better. You know, everything's going to be all right. But no, man. All right, the spiritual weatherman is telling you that it's not going to be all right. Okay, because the prophet is telling you that danger is on the horizon, man. All right, so I'm gonna finish off. It says, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that hopeth shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. Right. See, so you're gonna fail right along with Esau Edom, man. All right, the one that you place your trust in, man. All right.
Matter of fact, somebody get that. I think is that Jeremiah 51. Forsaker. Oh, that's what you at. Yep, that's it.
It's Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly falling.
Right. So this place is falling, man. Which when you consider falling, that's a process. All right. When something is falling, it's an actual process. That's why the scripture said, I will stretch forth my hand, which you just read, and roll thee down from the rock. That's a process. You see a nigga falling down a flight of steps. You know, you're going to be able to witness each bump of timberland come off. All right, come on.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
Right, and destroyed. Now, destroying, the idea of something being destroyed is also a process. Because when you go into that word destroy, it pretty much breaks down to taking away structure. That's why when you read the curses that's touching Israel and our state, the Lord said he would visit us until we are destroyed. Do that mean that we won't be a people extinct? We'll be extinct? No. That means the Lord would take the structure away from our people. That's why our people bugged out, man. They're American, that they westernized. Okay? And they come off as if they got understanding, but I bet you they're going to eat a McDonald's. Number 4, man. Go ahead.
It says, howl for her.
Right, you should be howling for America. Seeing that the famine is looming. Okay? Oh, yeah. Yes, go ahead.
It says, howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Yeah, so like it says here, just add, you know, what we're reading out of, right? It says take balm for her pain so that she may be healed, right? All right, and they try to do that, you know. They try to, you know, do certain, you know, stimulus, you know, try to, you know, prop this economy up for America, all right? But guess what? Now they come to the realization that America's out of here, man. All right, and then they turn to their own system, man. All right, their own form of currency. They see that there's no helping this harlot, man. All right. So again, it says it's so good that she may be healed. So that was the purpose, man. All right. But Yahawah says no, man. And she can't be healed. Okay.
That's why that scripture is like a mockery. You know, scripture is like a mockery. You know, take balm for her. Maybe you can fix her up. Maybe you can heal her. That's what balm do. You're supposed to heal your wounds. But there ain't no healing of this wound. Show you how the Lord got a sense of humor. He's gonna send his prophets to laugh at you. You know? I mean, we really waiting for the day where we can laugh, you know, endlessly at you people here, man. You know, from them ships, of course. There's gonna be a whole lot of laughing at other people torture.
The scripture said, I shall laugh at that calamity.
Yeah.
How the Most High gonna laugh at that calamity? What, you gonna hear a voice from heaven say, ha 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 ha? No. It's gonna come through his wind.
It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Yeah, in the foreseeable future, there's no, you can't see that this place is going to come back. There's no coming back, man.
We have to point no return.
You're right. Because the bread and circus can only run for, it's in ran its course. Like, you know what I'm saying? How many more NBA playoffs, you know what I'm saying? which let's just say hypothetically, if you still had to take it on, all these men becoming feminine, man. They're real feminine.
Hey, the whole next generation, that you know, everybody from 8, around the age of 8 and 12, they identify with 16 different sexualities. You know, they growing up in a world where today they could be today they can feel like a masculine male. The next hour, you ask them, they'll feel like a little girl. You better identify him as that. It's coming to a world where that generation, they want you to ask them what to identify them as. How many years of this can continue, man? And the basis of life is male and female. Well, that's all mixed up and undefined now, man.
That goes into the very idea of America, Babylon the Great. You look up that word Babylon, it goes into mixing by confusion. So if this continue at its pace, then you're not going to know if it's men or women, man. Right? It's going to be a very androgynous overtone, which it is already, you know? Because you can't make out who some motherfuckers is. You don't know if it's a 13-year-old boy, you turn his head that way. Yeah, now you're a mid-age white woman. Yeah, go ahead.
Man, that's why it's good to say that, anyway, like I'm about to say, that that's why the Lord right now is speeding up time. Because like I was going to, the times continue where they are now. What the scripture say, and no flesh going to be saved.
Right, right.
So that's why you see everything happening. The Lord is increasing the family. The war drums beating harder. Why? Because the Lord is speeding up the time, so that we're not destroyed, man. That's why the Lord is doing it.
And we can be witness to the devastation that's going to happen.
Yeah, and can I say too? Yeah, because they're going to fulfill biblical prophecy. Also, Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter. The physician cut off a long disease. The word disease going to dis-ease. So Esau's effect on the planet Earth, it's detrimental, man. The Earth has actually got smaller, man. That's what happens when you have disease. People shrink up. Somebody got cancer or something. Yeah, they shrivel. They lose weight. Well, that goes into Isaiah the 24th chapter. We're going to go back there. All right, come on. Still got more over there? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says we would have healed Babylon.
Oh, look at that. See, that's right there. That's a thumbnail, man. That's a sick.
What is it, the mermaid man and Barnacle?
Yeah.
Goddamn old Pee Wee Herman.
Old Pee Wee Herman.
Hey, Babylon, the epicenter of confusion, man. And this is what you see, man. That's why the Lord has a great judgment for Babylon the Great. Because like I said, Babylon, has continued to push the envelope when it comes to wickedness, man. And that's why the Lord is going to push the envelope to destroy you people. All right? You Edomites, okay? Jake that loves this place, man. All right? Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It says, but she is not healed, forsake her.
Right. So the rallying cry is to forsake America. But our people are sitting there nursing the wound. Israel sitting there wiping America with a handkerchief. Hey, that's equivalent to what war movie that is? Mainly, most of them war movies like Vietnam.
Oh, you talking about
Yeah, well, they say, hey, leave them. If they have a graven wound, you don't sit there with them. You like, this guy gone, man. Oh, just like Cain. Remember Cain?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, that nigga dead. Cain's cousin Howard, when he was shot. And Sharif, out of everybody, told me, he was voicing reason with a bug out with a kufi. He telling them, I'm staying with him, I'm staying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the dude was dead. You should have forsook him. Yeah. So what scripture say what? This place finished. You should forsake them, man. And we forsaken America right here. Let's prove that. Give me Romans 12 chapter. Yeah, because you know you'll have one of these Edomites. They'll say, well, won't you go to back to Africa? It's crazy. No, according to prophecy, we're going to be delivered physically from this place, man. But right here, we're going to detach. See? Go ahead,
God, this is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
See? So we are being transformed. The transition is taking place here, man. So we are no longer of this world, right here in our mind. Our outlook is not the same as you people out there, man. Okay? See, you want to see America continue, but we want to see this place destroyed. And that in itself contributes to the strangeness of this ministry, man. Yeah, come on.
God, it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, that acceptable, and perfect.
And what?
And perfect.
And perfect, go ahead.
Will of the Most High.
Right, so you can know the will of the Most High to a certain extent. Case in point, if I was to ask you, what was the will of the Most High in the time of Noah? You know, you'll say it was to flood the world. And you're right. But if I ask you what's the perfect will of Yahawashi, do you understand? Do you know that the perfect will of the Lord consists of overthrowing America and destroying this place and visiting it with strange forms of pestilence and plague until ultimately he wiped this place off the earth? Did you know that was the perfect? That's the perfect will. Which, by the way, we go to that word perfect. It translates to end or finish. See that? So we have been briefed on the Lord's plans in this lifetime.
I got some real quick. It's Deuteronomy 29 and 29. The secret things belong unto the Lord our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us.
Right. And those things that's been revealed is revealed through the prophets. Let's prove that. Go to Amos, the 3rd chapter. Is it more on that up?
And to our children forever, we may do all the words of this law.
That's right.
That's reincarnation.
Yeah, that's right.
Unto our children forever. Yeah. That goes back to Isaiah the 34th chapter.
We are the children.
Yeah, that's it. That's right, because you are your forefathers, man. And it says, reveal unto the what? Children forever, man. Unto what? Generation unto generation unto generation.
Right.
And so it shows you that there's supposed to be consistency throughout each generation of the Israelites. They ain't supposed to become this transformed, new, or people that leech on and grasp onto the ways of heathens, man. We had our own way. We had our own heritage. We are our own people. We are heavenly people, a special people unto the Lord. And the Lord is returning us back to that. But you know, all Israel can't.
Like, I was just thinking that the whole time speaking, it's really for the elect. That's Isaiah, matter of fact, that's Isaiah 34.
This is the perfection of that.
Right.
This generation.
This our heritage.
That's it. That's it.
This our heritage.
This generation.
When you even go into the history of Israel, the Lord really never dealt with all Israel. God always dealt with certain, you know what I mean, spirits.
Can I say this is the perfection of it, meaning what? This is that generation, which is that last, which is that pinnacle, like the elder brother was talking about, going back into that word perfect, like we were saying, the perfection of something. So this is the perfection of the generations right now, because now we got the abundance of it all. All right, when Yahawashi said, you're going to remember all the things that I have told unto you. So this is the abundance of
they go all the way back to the slide. They go all the way back to before the foundation of the world.
Ephesians
the first chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is not sporadic either. This is an inheritance. We are settling our lot that was promised us from the foundation of the world.
That many prophets have strived to see.
Yeah,
what you have seen.
Strived to see the things that we see.
This is the perfection of all of that.
And that's everything. We desire to see the thing, but now we see it. That's Acts the 1st chapter.
Right.
Because remember, when you read Acts the 1st chapter, the Lord said, this is not the time and season, right? But then when you go to 1 Thessalonians the 5th chapter, it says the time and season I have no need to write you. So the Lord sufficed our desire in this lifetime.
With thine eyes
With thine eyes, yeah. That's why Job said what? My eyes shall see my Redeemer at the end of days, man, because there were certain spirits that was promised. That's why we had a desire for the end. Israel don't have it. That's why the Lord said they're going to discontinue from our inheritance, but it's going to be a remnant. Matter of fact, go to Isaiah 34. It's going to be a remnant that heritage we promised to. Come on.
God, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, start at verse 16. It says, seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. Yeah.
They're going to come a day. That's the time they're going to take this, man. Then you really want to push this shit on, man. Come on.
This is the book of Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall run or make. For my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them, and he have cast the lot for them, and have, it's like in his hand, have divided it unto them by lines.
Well,
They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation.
right, that pretty much comes in with the budget of Deuteronomy 29. We're going to possess what for generation to generation? This heritage, this truth. You know? What's that? Psalm 145, one generation shall. Yeah.
God, it says, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein.
Right, and that's this tent. The Jacob. Like what? That's like.
This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. It shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them.
Right. See, the emphasis is on the remnant of Jacob. So the Lord has not forsook that promise. You know? And really, the promise is to be comforted. And because when you read the story of Israel and everything we had to suffer and endure, that these various captivities, it was always like a glimmer. It was always a pitch that hope. It would be hope. You know? It was a flip side, like, you know, it would be a form of relief. But we in that time now. See? But the Lord never relented on that promise. That comfort will come through the scriptures, though. See, that's the mystery of it all. It's not you know, being acclimated in America and being well up. No. The comfort came through the scriptures, which were only reserved for the elect. Come on.
But, shall stay for the Lord, Yahawashi, the Holy One of Israel, and truth. All right? So it says not only are we going to return back to the Lord, but we're going to return back to the Lord in truth.
Right.
All right? And that's what the vibration is coming out right now, truth. All right? And that's what we stay into, man. All right? Concerning Yahawashi, okay? And that's how we, you know, the names are our heritage, okay? And what's about to happen in the near future, man. Okay? So the Lord has the and then the Lord always dealt with a remnant, man. Okay? Going all the way back to Noah, man. All right? You know, Noah was set as that remnant, okay? All right, and other examples, man. So the Lord is doing that once again, man. Okay? And this time, it's going to be the elect of the nation of Israel, right? That's going to be the remnant that the Lord's going to deliver, man.
Right.
Just like he did before, man, when the flood came, all right? Delivered Noah and his family, all right? Which, again, they were known as the remnant, okay? And guess what? The Lord's going to deliver that same remnant again, man. All right?
And that has always been the case. Lord has always dealt with a remnant, man. Right?
Verse 21, it says, the remnant shall return.
See, the remnant shall return. And you can't return to nothing you never was a part of. You know? You never been to my house, how you gonna say I'm gonna go back? I'm gonna return to my house. You never been there, you know? So the remnant will return to that heritage, that lot that was promised. Slakia, that goes into that preposition. And I forget, Revelation 11 chapter. Which goes into what we're going into. They said the well in it forever. Revelation 11 chapter speaks about those who worship therein. You go into that word therein, it takes you to that word preposition, which is a breakdown, preposition, man. Meaning you already have a seat. You ever go into a banquet, and they have the seats, they have a card by each seat, or the name might be on the seat. Yeah, that means that seat is for you, man. Yeah, it's reserved. Okay? So we going back to our original state. Again, this is nothing random, like, oh, you jockeying for your position in this. No. Every man is going to fall into their lot, man. All right, come on.
Yeah, this is the book of Psalms, 89. And I started at verse 3. It reads, I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David, my servant.
Right, see, so you see those key words? It'll elude you if you're not paying attention. They just got a lot of these self-proclaimed leaders, these Israelite groups, and they push forth Israel, as far as building the nation of Israel. Man, you out of your mind. Did not we just spoke about what this nigga Young Thug? How we gonna reach him, man? No, the Lord ain't dealing with that. All right, that's why you hear this word chosen, which out of the 18 nations, yeah, Israel is the chosen nation, but there's a chosen amongst the chosen. And they would be the house of David under that vibration. That's why that word David, read that again.
It says, I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David, my servant.
Right, see that? Well,
thy seed will I establish forever.
Right, and that goes through Yahawashi. Okay? Well,
it says, and build up thy throne to all generations, Salah. And the heavens shall praise thy wonders.
Right, and the heavens shall praise thy wonders. Man. This is a form of that. Okay? Because we would be considered the heaven. As it is written, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Also, the conversation is in the heaven. I shall set you in heavenly places. So this the heavens, man. That's rejoicing in the Lord. Okay, come on.
Oh Lord, Yahawashi, it says thy faithfulness also in the congregation of the saints.
In the congregation of the saints. So you have the saints overall, that's the Israelite, but then you have the congregation of the saints, man. All right? Which when you go into that word congregation, it's Latin word congregare. All right? And it goes into with the flock. So that's a separation. Because you have 2/3 of the nation of Israel who has been coined as vipers and scorpions. And who you know going to make a pet out of a scorpion? Esau do it, but you trying to tame a scorpion. You trying to pet him and he's going to bite your ass. That's why we're not dealing with Israel as a person. And that's the cue, that's it. That's the cue right there. Jake running to the front.
It's like you said, it says Psalms 89 verse 5, it says, the heavens shall praise thy wonders, O Lord, thy faithfulness also in the congregation of the saints. For who in the heaven can be compared unto the Lord? Who among the sons of the mighty can be likened unto the Lord?
Back in Isaiah chapter 10, verse 21. Now return.
Yeah, only a remnant is going to return, right? The remnant shall return. God is going to grant access. There's going to be an entrance. Oh, what's that? An interest ministered unto us. Meaning what? We didn't pave our own way into the truth. The Lord allowed us access. You know, He ministered an entrance into the temple, man. Come on.
Even the remnant of Jacob.
Right, even the remnant of Jacob. See that? The remnant of Jacob. Go ahead.
Unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea.
Right, because you have Israelites all over the place. Who cares if these certain Israelites know that they Israelites? You know, like, remember the Kodak Black? There was a time when brothers were doing a snippet. Kodak Black knows he's an Israelite. Man, fuck Kodak Black, man. Them niggas back then knew they was Israelites. When Yahawashi came on the scene, they knew they was Israelites. They had access to the temple. yet they rejected our Lord, man. Okay, so the Lord is not flattered by you associating yourself with being an Israelite. Okay, you have to be in obedience, right? And you have to return in the same, man, it's just crazy.
And even knowing the law. That the Pharisees, they was, right, Paul was trained, raised up as a Pharisee.
Right,
They knew the law back and forth.
Yeah.
Right? Because back then everybody didn't have a Bible that they could go to and learn the law. They had to hear it at the temple or hear it at the synagogues. But the Pharisees, they had access to the law. They knew the law back and forth, so you would go to them in order to hear about it. But even that didn't have them believe in Yahawashi. That's really the real mystery at the end of the day. Faith in Yahawashi. They knew they was Israelites. They knew the law. You know, sometimes you get excited. You just see a Jacob, you know, he ain't eating pork. I don't eat pork.
Right,
I don't eat shrimp.
Right.
Like, you feeling good for him, right? And then, you know, that nigga, he don't believe in the Lord. He believe in Yahawashi.
Which is really on display through the scriptures. That's how you get to know Yahawashi, you know. So you might, out openly, or should I say outwardly, appear to be an Israelite. You don't eat pork, you know, kind of fall within the measurements. But we ask you about the Quran, and you're not able to digest that, then that means you don't really believe Yahawashi. You don't believe in Yahawashi. You have more there?
I got something. It's the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 29.
Yep.
But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly.
Yep.
I already know it's going to. It's Jewish, which really represents Israel. Okay? So it says, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart. All right? In the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of the Most High. Yeah. So like it says here, it says he's an Israelite inwardly, man. All right? Instead of the outward appearance. Okay? And that's what I was going to earlier, man. You had Israelites that do the law. You got that today. All right? You got, people, individuals calling themselves Israelites, and they swear by the law, man. Yeah, and that's all they push, man. All right? But denying, all right, Yahawah, man. All right? Denying the Son of the Heavenly Father, man. All right? Because why? Because we're in this captivity, man. Okay? And Yahawashi is going to be the only one to deliver us out of it, man. Not the letter, man, like it says here. Okay? But it says the circumcision is that of the heart, talking about the mind, man. Okay? In other words, Yahawashi has got to be in you, man. Okay? He's got to be on your mind, man. Okay? So that's why, again, you got that today, man. You might have, certain ones that call themselves Israelites. They might know, the cadence or what have you. Okay? But do you believe in the prophecy, man? Okay? Because the scriptures say what? The testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy, man. Okay? So if you don't believe in the prophecies, then, you don't have Yahawashi, man. You out of there, man.
Back then it was the test was if you believe that he rose again. There was a myth that the Pharisees was pushing that Yahawashi didn't rise again. They stole the body, right? And so back then that was the dilemma, whether you believed in the resurrection or not. And now it's whether you believe in Yahawashi and the reresurrection. You got all types of sects of Israelites out here, man. Depending on, if you get in a one-on-one conversation with any of these guys in fringes, you're gonna see where their belief is lacking. Their faith is lacking. It's really it's still a fad. It's still, they just making their rounds. But really, they ain't meant to be in it long. They ain't meant to be a part of this salvation, part of the elect.
Yeah, just add on what you're saying. Yeah, they look at this as a fad. It's something to get into. And that's what Jake is into. Man, he's into the gimmicks. But when it comes to the truth, the truth comes raw. You don't need gimmicks or something like that. You got certain groups that try to make rap songs, this and that. We don't have the time for that. All right. And like the Apostle always say, if the Lord really wanted that, wanted that to go down, he'd get the best, rapping lyricists out there to do it, man. All right, but no, the Lord didn't choose that platform, man. All right, he chose this to bring out his word, man. That's why the sentiment now is just teach the word, man. That's it.
It's like the scripture say, take heed how you build. You know, so it's certainly supposed to work out.
Yeah, that's a great point. Even Noah was given explicit instructions on building the ark. He had to build it a certain way. He couldn't build the way he wanted to build it. So that was Jake liked to do. Jake liked to make it a world-friendly thing, right? So they can have one foot in the grave, so to speak. They can still be cool with their friends. And I could be an Israelite and still have dreads and line up, you know what I mean? But no, it's a sacrifice, okay? You have to shed the old man and commit fully to, the service of Yahawashi. You can't, in a restaurant, for example, McDonald's, that's been the thing. Let's say you work at McDonald's, you can't bust up at McDonald's and wear what you want to wear. You got to wear the uniform, you got to have on the outfit, you got to operate. Yeah, welcome to McDonald's. Welcome to Mall. All right, there you go.
Going back to this.
Yeah, you can't say I'm gonna make a I'm gonna make a family with You make your own thing in McDonald's, The breakfast, you got cereal on, frosted flakes on the baby. You got to serve what they told you to serve.
Yeah, that's why we read the scripture earlier, right? It said you must be conformed to the image of the Son. Right? In other words, you're that's why another scripture say, put on as the elect. Right? You gotta take that onto yourself, man. And that's why I read earlier in the scripture, in Ephesians, man. All right? You have to be Israelite inwardly. All right? That means that's you, taking on the mind of Yahawashi. And the scripture say that, right? It says that we have the mind of Yahawashi.
And that's it. Can I say too real quick? That inwardly, that goes into this mind, the mindset in the teachings. The teachings, not you just, meditating back and forth. No, that means you got to grasp that's inwardly. Do y'all hold that to a Psalm 51? You got that.
It's 2 Corinthians 4:16, for which cause we faint not. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day.
That's it. Yeah, so the outward man seems to be perishing, right? But the inward man is continually being renewed. All right? With every single day, man. All right? With every, obstacle you face, Lord's continuing to test you, you coming in, you just overcoming those tests, man. All right? That's that old man being shepherded. All right? And you taking on a new man who's having the image of who? Yahawashi.
And can I say too, it says renewed day by day. It goes into these various streams and videos. They go out every day. Each day, your inner man is being renewed, being polished up. Your understanding is becoming sharper and sharper. So the inner man, your reasoning, is becoming, polished up. Because you got to remember, you're not taking these bodies out of here. You're not taking this body up to your house, right? You're going to be given a new body. Your reasoning, your understanding, your desire is going to be met through what doctrine you subscribe to. You're not going to have a nigga floating up. No! You just got to, watch an Independence Day. Yeah. And then once you get in the chairs, we break it down. And you, hey, calm down, bro. Calm them down. Look, this is revelation. It's not going to work like that. The ones going to go up, their desire is going to be met based upon what they subscribe to. That's why scripture say the inner man is being polished up. So you could be, presented as that chaste virgin before Yahawashi, man, at his return.
Man, it's a process, man. Yeah. Right? Hey, that's why the Lord compared us as the marriage son. Yes. And before the marriage happens, the bride's got to get ready. Yeah. You got to get everything.
So that what's that? What's that? Ezra. Ezra. Yeah.
Got to be purified and oils,
That represents us. That represents us, man. Symbolism. Yeah, symbolism. What we doing before we make ourselves ready? We soaking in that oil, man. Right. Juice, man. Woo! Making us tight.
Yeah. But that's what's happening. Yeah, so the Lord,
God, going back. It says, verse 17, 2 Corinthians 4:17, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment.
Right, this is light affliction, man.
Yeah.
All right, compared to what we have coming. All right, the rewards. Okay, this is light, man. Okay, compared to what Yahawashi went through. All right, I mean, you as a regular Jake, would you go through what Yahawashi went through? Every time they're gonna say no, man. All right, so the Lord gave us this light affliction. All right. But at the same time, through this light affliction, and that's through the grace of Yahawashi, man. Because Yahawashi did the heavy one already, man. Right. All right. He already did the maximum amount, to suffice the Most High Yahawah, man. Okay. And we're coming in instead, man. All right. As joint heirs, okay. Because after he went through that, he received his glory, man. He received a crown. He seated at the right hand of the Heavenly Father, man. So now we're going through our light affliction, like the Ark is saying, reading out of, all right? We're going to be joint heirs with him as well, man. And that's the beauty of it, man.
Yeah, going back, 2 Corinthians 4:17, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory.
Right, so it's the most exceeding weight of glory, man. Okay? So yeah, the scriptures compare as a light affliction, but compared to that, you got a great reward, man. Okay? It's a great reward, and when you know that, it's like, and that's why it's considered light. Because when you think about the reward, everything else you fall to the wayside, man. You're not thinking about, the things that's going on in your life, you might lose your job, you might lose your woman, okay? You might, lose friends, family members, okay? But guess what? That's light affliction, man. Okay? Because guess what? At the end of it, you're gonna be confident, man. Hey, case in point, Job. All right? Job lost everything, man. And he still kept his integrity. All right? And he was rewarded. He got everything back, man. All right?
That was the foresight of the slack.
So this is Sirach 51:27. Behold with your eyes how that I have but little labor and have gotten unto me much rest.
Right. That's it, man. Yeah, because right now, we're at the point where we're doing his work. Okay, we got the unicorn doing the heavy lifting for us, man. All right? So all we got to do is, like I always say, the Akbarat say, all you got to do is cut the camera on. All right? And that's it, man. That's it. All right? So now it's light work, man, compared to all the ancient men back in the ancient world. They had to travel miles and miles to bring the message, man.
Or even Solomon's like they tell you how they travel for miles to hit the wisdom of Solomon. So that's an indictment on our people because it's right here. It's like riches in the street. They bought bags of money in the street and you can walk about. Oh yeah, the Queen of the South gonna condemn you because she went through hell. Or when you go into the Queen of the South, that journey, she went through. I think she went through Yemen, and it was met with peril, robbers, beasts. When you go into that terrain was real crazy getting to King Solomon, man. Just to get the silence. But there was one greater than Solomon. And really, when you go into that, that's even talking about now, man. Because Solomon wasn't going into the chip, And that's a stumbling block. Because remember when even Apostle Sahab made that statement that we know more than the disciples. A lot of guys got messed up, man. They abandoned the ministry. They looked at us sideways. But it's true. We know more than what we knew in the past. That's all he was saying. Yes, yeah. That's growth. That's the ministry growth. Well, scripture, the ministry is framed as that mustard seed, but grew into a great tree. That's what
It mentioned off in 2 Corinthians 4:18, it says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen.
Right, and that's faith, man. All right? That's a requirement in this thing, man. You gotta believe, man. Okay? And we believe that these things are gonna come to pass, man. Okay? Versus things that we do see. Okay? And it says that in Hebrews 11 chapter, right? All right? That the things that the things that you see, you have faith in is not true faith. But the things that are unseen, all right, that's the true faith, man. Okay? And even Yahawashi said it so. It says, blessed are they that have not seen me and yet believe.
Yeah.
So, and that's how it is today, man. We, us in this generation now, in this lifetime, we haven't physically seen Yahawashi, okay? But at the same time, We seen them. Okay? They are spiritual eyes, man. Okay? So yeah, and we're blessed because of that, man. Why? Because again, going back to faith, man. Okay? You have to have it, man. And that's why also as well, right? Is that faith, it says in scripture say it's impossible to please the Lord without faith. Okay? So now that's what the Lord's looking for. That's why now you're seeing a form of that taking place now, man. Okay? So through the words being published by the prophets, man. Okay? Yeah, that's it.
Let's finish it off. It says, but at the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporary.
Right, the temple, man. Yeah. All right? I mean, everything you see around you, think about it, man. Everything you see around you, and you know, I was speaking on the camera last week, you know, is that everything you see around you is just made of elements, you know? And these things are put together by Yahawah, man. Now, the things that we're looking towards, all right, concerning Yahawah, we're looking towards the maker that put all these things together, man. All right? You know, that form certain things in the earth, man. You know? So that's why now we look towards the maker of these things, man, rather than the things that are just here for just a season, you know? Because everything you see around you is not going to deliver you in the time to come, man. Okay? You know, you might have a Mercedes, what have you, or Bentley. You know, that's not going to deliver you in that day, man. Okay? Why? Because when all hell breaks loose, all right, you're not going to have that transportation, man. That's going to be nothing. You're going to be worried about what to eat the next day, man. All right, where you going to get your food from? Where you going to get your water from? You know, and then you have these people, these disgruntled individuals, all right, come knocking at your door, all right, saying where the food at, you know. You know, raiding your place, you know, your home, you know, that's gonna be reality, man. All those things you got, those possessions you got right now is gonna be nothing, man. You ain't gonna be thinking about it, man. All right, the survival mode is gonna kick in, right? You know.
First Corinthians 9. Oh, yeah, go. Finish it off.
I'll finish it off. It says, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Yeah, the things that are not seen are eternal, man. All right, what's that? The kingdom. Okay, because the kingdom is going to be everlasting, man. It's not going to have no end. All right, and that's what we're looking for, man. And that's why I was reading that scripture, right? It says that this is a light affliction, and we know that an eternal kingdom is coming, man. So that's why everything else is just fall by the wayside, man. You know, that's why there's a term called tunnel vision, man. You know, and that's what the men of the Lord have. Okay.
Yeah, this is sight sit on the world of come.
1 Corinthians 9 and 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown.
Right. So you got individuals, you know, doing it for a corruptible crown, man. Okay. In other words, you know, a crown that fades away, man.
Right.
All right. There's another scripture, right, that says to store your treasures in heaven. All right. We need a moth or rust up corrupt. Okay. But here it is. You know, these you know, Jacob, you know, they strive for a temporal crown, man. You know, a crown that's given to them by Esau Edom, man. You know, in which really is no crown anyway. All right. Why? Because you still got to do the bidding of the ones that's in rulership, man. So really, it's nothing, man. You got no crown, man. All right.
But we in incorruptible.
Right, but us an incorruptible crown. All right, a crown that never fades away, and that crown represents rulership, man. Okay, you know, being rulers on the planet Earth, man. Okay, because on the flip side, like I was saying earlier, right, concerning the crown given by Esau Edom, right, or the little state in this society, man. And that's it, man. Okay, that's all you got. You just got a little piece of the crown from the state. All right.
That goes to that constellation that Yahawashi spoke about. Yeah, you have gotten your reward. When you go into that word consolation, it goes back to console. So you're going to be comforted and consoled by the perks of this world, but that's going to run out. It's perpetual comfort. We're putting our stock into something that's perpetual.
Hey, that's like always talking about investing and shit. That's like investing one-on-one. You know, when you in for the long term or you in for the short money. You know, we in for the long term. We in for the long money. That's understanding the word and what the Lord got to offer us way past America. See, Jake's mind's frame is just as long as I'm in America, right? But we light years ahead through the scriptures, of course. And what the Lord opened up our minds to understand that we could think that far, and that ain't crazy. You know, we could think on the things that we're gonna have in the kingdom of heaven, meditate on these things. That's not crazy. We can meditate on the day when we're gonna be taking, putting Edomite babies' heads like that. That's not crazy. But in the confines of this world, the limited imaginations of these people, right? You don't got the truth, so you can't think like that. But that's a crazy thought to you. Now you're going to the psych ward to get some more prescription. You actually in your right mind, man. If we let them doctors test on us, they're gonna prescribe us with all type of shit. They're gonna lock us up. We all gonna be in straitjacket. Some brothers, they just gonna have to hang. It's gonna come down to it where that's gonna be their verdict. Well, he believes that,
Spaceships are gonna come deliver him.
And what we said last week, like, you gotta be crazy, you gotta be attacked, you gotta be a bit crazy. You gotta be crazy, man.
A dream
To this world. To this world.
Hey, we can get lost in the thought for hours, just about what the scriptures say. The outside world, to them, that's foolishness, because it's not talking about right now. See, we might skip a meal based on how much money we got or funds, or you get when your bread get tight. Now in this world, that look crazy. You didn't prioritize your life, and you didn't. But we thinking how the Lord gonna hit us off with gifts when all hell break loose, man.
Right.
They ain't got no answer for that, Paul.
Right.
I got some real quick. Psalms 16:11. That will show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore.
Yep, these pleasures. Scripture speaks about Moses, which really spiritually that's going into the house of David. How he didn't compromise for the pleasures of the world. He suffered with it. Yeah. For a season or something like that, to gain the infinite, should I say, pleasures that the Lord has prepared for us. Guess what is going to be played out on the planet Earth? Right? While you experience what it is to eat and certain joys and things like that, just to go into the spirit world to hold hands with Esau forever after that. It don't make sense. Our redemption must be played out right here. Hey, this is the place where we got our ass kicked. All right, come on.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 21. For after that, in the wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High.
Right. Meaning, what you subscribe to, whatever you have been indoctrinated to here in this world, that's going to be the very thing that keep you from this understanding. Let's further prove that. Go to 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, because the so-called white man was set up to block our people from truth, man. That's why your struggle to embrace this form of teaching is based upon what you already believe in. You so caught up in Christmas to when we tell you that's not the way, you ain't going to be able to see it because you already have a preconceived notion based upon what the so-called white man told you. Go ahead,
2 Corinthians 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world.
Right, so see, there's a God of this world. The word God simply translates to power. Like the powers that be, that rule and govern over this current system, they have blinded the minds of our people. Read that again.
It says, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not.
So your unbelief stems from the power of this world and his influence. See? So you don't, for an example, right, we bring out the dietary laws, right? You don't want to embrace that because what you was taught here in this world. And it could have been from your grandma. She could have had you believe in that pork was, but that really goes back to Esau. So the God of this world, he pretty much blurred your outlook on things. So when you was presented with the truth, it was a struggle. It was somewhat of a challenge for you to get over that hurdle. Yeah, come on.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness.
Right, that's dealing with the so-called white man. Who else that's talking about? See, hey, these churches, how do you believe that's talking about the mystical, Satan in the traditional sense with the horns on his head? He's not deceiving you, man. Now they'll give you an illustration and sell it where you have a picture with Satan on your shoulder telling you to. No, that deceivableness that's on display is by way of the so-called white man and his rhetoric, man. From his legislations down to his trends and everything in between. Yeah, Christianity, man, that's that hell of a drug that our people is under influence. Because even if Jake ain't been to church 2.5 years, they still hold fast to that when they come into this arena. All right? Go ahead.
With all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish.
Well, see, in them that perish. So those who are numbered to the sword, right? What's going to facilitate that? Esau snaring you through his science, which has nothing to do with the scriptures. Go ahead.
Because they received not the love of the truth.
Right, just because they received not the love of the truth. That proves that you rejecting this information is what's going to cost you your life. Yep, that proves, that gives credence to the sense of urgency that comes with having his word. Come on.
That they might be saved.
Right, see, you're not going to be saved because you was not able to receive this information, but who blocked you up? Esau, the Lord used Esau to block you, man. Oh, what's that, Psalm 37? That green bay tree? Which, when you consider a tree, it has certain qualities. Of course, it can extend and you can eat from the branches. I can have a tree in my yard and the branches extend in your yard and you can eat from it. Well, that symbolizes the influence of the so-called white man as well. He's in the West, but they eating of his fruit because this tree, his branches extend over the world. Also, a tree serves as a lodging, and that's where the nations, they come over here. But also a tree, it provides shade. It actually blocks the lights, man. So the so-called white man was set up to block the light, man. All right? All right, come on. That was it on that? Yeah, so pretty much the so-called white man is the offender. And you have to be willing to digest that. Right? You can't be driven by emotions too. That's what America teaches too. When you subscribe to the ways of the so-called white man, which he's a natural homo. That's why you see these sitcoms, they have a scene where it's a sad scene. They play and you hear the crowd, that shit comes from Esau, man. And that's what you develop, a real feminine spirit here. Yeah, deceivableness. Right, so when you face with the hard truth, the hard-bodied truth, if you'll fall apart if you are of Esau. Right. That's why you can't conform to this world, and you have to detach from the so-called. Matter of fact, let's prove that. Go to Ecclesiastes 13 real quick. And 1.
God, this is the book of Ecclesiastes.
Hey, like the brother said earlier, if you're in the car with Esau, the Lord gonna shoot up, you're gonna receive the whole, that might not be the most tasteful example, but let's say like somebody, and they're in the car and you're in the car with them, now you're in danger. So the Lord got a hit on the so-called white man. And the Lord encouraged you to detach from him before the judgment comes out. Go ahead,
God, Ecclesiastes, Sirach 13:1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
Right, let's find out what this pitch is. Go ahead.
And he that have fellowship with the proud man.
See, and that word pride is synonymous with Esau. You don't believe me? What month is this? I'm going to just throw it out there. Anybody know what month this is? It's Pride Month. Right, so the scriptures are spot on when identifying this devil. Go ahead.
And he that have fellowship with the proud man shall be like unto him.
See, you're going to be like unto him, meaning you might receive the perks that comes with being with this man. But believe you me, you're going to be rewarded with the judgment that the Lord prepared for this devil too, man. Which he's not going to escape. All right, nobody gets away. Esau is not going to escape with the spoil, ride off in the sunset, and erect a new world order and bring you back into captivity, right?
All over again.
Yeah, all over again, but this time you paying for shit with a micro too. So that goes back to what's that? Is that Exodus 21? That all that Esau trying to give you that digital all. Yes, to perpetually bring you back into captivity.
The scriptures say, none shall go hand join their hand. None shall go on one. He ain't got no escape. There's no escape for this man.
Right.
The sentence of the Lord comes down. No escape for that. No attorney for that. There's no pleading for his cause. Right. Though he saw the kid through the tears, he's gonna have it. That's salvation. That's allotted for the elect. That's it.
That's what makes salvation precious. Because if everybody could get it, then why would it be, premium on? Why would we emphasize the stress like throughout the scripture if it was just accessible for everybody? So what you have before you is a work, man, a marvelous work. This is the Lord extending his hand. It's not in a conventional way, and that's how you know it's of the Lord. The Lord will raise up the prophets of old and bring them back, and we'll be right amongst you Americans. It's not like we're going to retreat to some cave after this hearing. We passing flatbread around and we got Yahawah in there. No, we're going to go back and what's that, St. John the 17th chapter. Lord, pray to not take us out of the world. We somewhat sleeper cells. So the Lord have planted us here, all right? We was born for that very reason. The elder Yahawah touched on that briefly. He was born to come here and prophesy, man. Man, you ain't even know. You thought you would just play video games and bullshit. No, you was going to work. God brought you in this lifetime to prophesy and to introduce the world to Yahawashi and his plan. We got something? Yeah, speak ready,
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14. It shall be as the chase road, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people.
Right, a sheep that no man take up is in a bad position, man. The sheep can't ward off the advances of wolves and lions, So if no man take it up, right, then he's out there. That's going to be the case for you people. You're going to be just out there, no hands of protection. See, we know Yahawashi is an active power and is alive and well. And just the prayers we sent up and how he answered them, man. See? But you people not going to have that outlet. It's going to go from the bank apps, and that's going to be reduced to, you asking your auntie what's going on. Hey, nobody going to have the answer. Then eventually it's going to be, you're going to be reduced to searching out garbage cans and shit. All right, go ahead.
It says, and flee everyone into his own land.
Yeah, go ahead.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
Right, everyone that is found shall be thrust through. So what we read here is the script, these are death threats, man. Okay? Your traditional pastors and preachers, in a very irresponsible approach, they presented the scriptures as a form of peace and, love and happiness. Right, yeah. The Bible was a banner to squash beefs. You come together, this gang leader, y'all shake hands. No, this is the bloodiest, if not one of the bloodiest book ever published. Right?
And that's why Nat Turner went crazy like that.
Yeah.
Crazy in the good
Lord
way.
sold it to him.
Yeah. Turned up. That's how it's going to be like a foreshadowing of things to come. It's going to be like that. Because the Lord said he's going to turn hundreds and fishers into hundreds. His word is violent, it's bloody, but it's perfect and it's righteous and it's just too. And it's established, it shows you how to establish justice and perfection. What the Most High requires out of his people. How to become more perfect. Which, that's where we understand that we go off. We need it, we need that. You understand where we go off, how we ain't perfect, how we need to rely on the Heavenly Father and divine salvation things are going to get real terrible out here, as they have before in the scriptures. You had portions of time when, right, women was cooking their children for meat and food. The real graphic parts of the scriptures, man.
Right.
There's a point in time when the Israelites that went to war, they brought back certain women from the other nation, and Moses was there, and he said, "What are you doing with them? Like, what? Aren't these the same women that caused us to go off, and the Lord judged us for it?" And then they put them women to death immediately. That happened in the scriptures, man. You don't know that. That's because your pastor was a 50c31 bought out pastor, paid off pastor. He taught you the Negro spiritual, docile, how to make a Christian Negro. He taught you straight out of that book.
Right.
And you learn about pacifying, pleasing the enemy, and everything else in MLK. They could quote MLK more than they quote the scripture.
I'll read again, verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Right. So that's the reality of the scripture. The Lord has prepared judgment, man. Like what it say, graphic. And that judgment does establish justice and power and rulership. You can't be a passive king and expect to establish judgment. I mean, establish your power. Because the people gonna just roll over, man. So guess what the Lord gonna do? He's gonna, with his iron, there's gonna be a rigorous rule in the world to come. That's gonna get people in order, man. All right?
That's the violence that I.
Yeah. This is how the Lord gonna reason with you mere mortals. It's gonna be by graphic, vivid illustrations of judgment, man. Okay? All right, so come on, let's go to Isaiah 24. We read about that.
God, go to Isaiah chapter 24. God. And verse 3. It's like Isaiah 24 and 3. It reads, "The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahawashi shall This is Isaiah 24 verse 3. It says, "The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahawashi has spoken this word."
Right, that's the prophecy. The Lord has ordered the release of Israel, all right, people on this sign stone with the elect, but that's going to bring about the judgment of our oppressors, the ones who held us captive. That's not a hard saying. Did not that happen in ancient Egypt? That's the story. That's how it came together, all right? And which, by the way, the ancient Egyptians tell you how they pursued us. When you go into that word pursue, they're going to persecute. So that proves that even in this lifetime, before we are delivered, we're going to be persecuted. That's the same as the Egyptians pursuing us once more. All right, come on.
It said the earth mourneth and fadeth away.
Right. The earth is fading away. Okay? And that's going into the rulership, what's the best word I can use? The image of this world, pretty much. You know?
Reputation.
Yeah, the representation which is on display through Esau's bullshit. That's all passing away. All right, no more. People not even entertaining that bullshit, that feminine spirit anymore. All right, the other nations is pretty much ready to damn hit the button. They've been brought to the border of war. And the other nations is no longer viewing the so-called white man as that big boogeyman. Or what's that, Joel, the 3rd chapter? That the weak say I'm strong. And just not that, just here, everybody, you can see everybody wore out, man. Just been going into that same motion, that robotic, wake up, go to work, you know, like I said, get 40 hours in and trick off on weekends. This shit losing its luster, man. Go ahead,
It said the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away.
Yep. And you're going to see where it's going to go into this rulership, boy.
The haughty people of the earth do languish.
See, that's dealing with this current lifetime. That's touching those who are governed over the planet Earth. It's all fading away now, man. It's languishing. See all this, like, look, like, it's a start moment. It's like a snapshot. And it's spirit too. That's why you see people have to take pictures. They got to capture that moment, man. Yeah. Yeah, TikTok, yeah, timeline is just a snippet.
Yeah.
a moment in time. You got to show the whole family.
They voicing smiles.
Oh yeah.
Everybody actually having fun no more.
Yeah, after the motherfucking camera go out, everybody get back to the meme mode. It's just a glimpse in time.
Them same people were hugged up in the picture.
Yeah.
As soon as that picture over, the next week they ain't friends.
Yeah. The next few minutes.
Microwave society, man.
That's it, bro. That's the best way to describe it. Microwave, and that goes back to Esau. Remember, he couldn't wait on the potter's to finish. Oh, y'all good?
God, it says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Right, under the inhabitants. That word under is synonymous with subjection. Which when you go into that word subject, it breaks down to under rule. So the current state of the planet Earth is based upon those who rule over it. You got plastic everywhere, right? Because of the so-called weapon. Here's the disease. Yeah, oil spills. You got the sea life they're beaching themselves. That's just a fancy way of saying committing suicide. Go ahead,
God, it said the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Yep, under the watch of Esau. And we still have to explain that, we had to pull out a chalkboard and break down the science of why we say it's Esau. God damn. This man is the man that's ruling over. He set the tone, man, on the planet Earth. Okay? So on the one hand, he want to be recognized as the guy, but when we place the blame at your feet for the earth, because you ruling, right? You're the greatest country. You got the greatest military. You got U.S. embassies all over the place.
Right. Hey, the Maccabees have said when the Greeks came into power,
Yep.
and evils are multiplied.
Yep.
Same way of life is evils are still being multiplied.
Right.
They haven't made one solution to stop all these evils and abominations to just go. It's flourishing, man, out here in society.
Right. Yeah, righteousness. Hey, when they get to the point where righteousness is frowned upon, what's that? Isaiah?
Yeah, make himself work.
Yep, that's two. And the other one, one who called himself good.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But that's even better when you have Isaiah 59, which is quoted. He that departed from evil, make himself a prey. When it gets to that point where righteousness is frowned upon, God damn, what's next, man? You think Yahawah is going to allow a kingdom like that to continue? No. And see, seeing the power that we serve and understanding him, we know that he's going to visit Esau. Plus, on top of that, it's recorded. It's promise. It's a promissory. What's that? Jeremiah 49th chapter. Come on.
God, it said the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Yep, go ahead.
Because they have transgressed the law.
Right, the so-called white man transgressed the laws. That's why you had it. That's why it's Pride Month. All right? Yeah. Sit right here.
It says, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance.
Yeah, everything like a moment. So you got stunned moments. Read that again.
It said because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance.
Right, change the ordinance. Yeah, they changed the order of things. Okay? What?
Broken the everlasting covenant.
Yep, broken the everlasting covenant. It goes all the way back to the ancient Babylonian captivity. Esau stood on the other side, pointed us out to the Babylon. Hey, devil, you the fucking same devil back, man. That's why you gotta thank Yahawah for giving you this information. Motherfucker lying at you. And I actually saw that. That was a purpose, man. This Edomite, he looked like he was gonna be a mad shoot moment. Real tough, that dude was holding himself together like he's finna lose and shit, man. But I was thinking to myself, like, that's one of them damn ancient spirits, man, that hate the sight of Jake. And you had the older nigga woman, she was cashier. I could see, she didn't even know the dangers. I was looking like, she want to kill this bitch, man. And she trying to talk to him and shit. So them breaking the everlasting covenant, that goes deep, man. You know, they sold us out to the Babylonians, contributed to them rounding us up. They stood in the way. That's an ancient hatred that can't be rehabilitated. Guess what? They're the same devils that's out here now. Yeah, is there more on that?
I've heard one more verse. It says, therefore, have the curse devoured the earth.
Right, and who is the curse that has devoured the earth? Esau. He's the disease that has devoured the earth. That's Revelation 11 chapter. Woe to them who destroyed the earth. That's the so-called white man. And you can't get mad at it. That's the facts, man. What?
And they that dwell therein.
And they that dwell therein. That's heaven. That definition of dwell goes into the place where you lodge or hang your hat. So your feet kicked up, the Lord gonna kick in the door. You don't want to be like this, man, when the Lord come in. All right, good.
It says, and they that dwell therein are desolate.
Right, they that dwell therein are desolate. That word desolate, that's another word best suited when describing the destruction. Go ahead.
It says, it's like, therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned.
See? These places going to be burned, man. All right? Yep, let's get that up real quick. Can we get the missile sign? Yep, the water. Yep, read that again. They thought they were going to get away with us not getting this. That's a thing.
It says,
Yeah, come on.
It said, therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned.
Right.
And few men left.
And few men left, and that's going to the remnant, man. Those going to be counted worthy to escape the wrath of Yahawah. All right? So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahawah, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash.
Double honor to our teacher, the head apostle, the elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there. As always, you believe. So the next time, shalom.
Shalom. ETA, above, soon.
Very soon. Nice.